Have you ever touched a man in a way that didn't just make his body respond, but made something deep inside him wake up and recognize you? I'm not talking about the usual excitement, the fast movement, or the familiar sigh when it's over. I'm talking about the kind of pleasure that leaves him lying there afterward, silent and amazed, wondering what just happened. The kind that makes him look at you differently, as if you've opened a door in him that he didn't even know existed. Most women have never seen that side of a man, and most men have never revealed it because the world has taught them that male pleasure is simple, physical, and always something they control. But that idea couldn't be more wrong. There is a part of his body that almost no one talks about, a place so connected to his deepest instincts that even Carl Jung might have described it as the bridge between his shadow and his inner feminine, the hidden part of him that feels but rarely speaks. When you touch that place with the right pace, with care, and with the right energy, you aren't just giving him pleasure, you're giving him a moment of truth, a meeting between his body and his soul. You won't hear this in school, and you'll never see it in adult films, because those worlds are built on performance, not connection. But here's something Jung helped us see about human nature. The parts we hide are the ones that quietly control us. For men, vulnerability is one of those parts. This special spot isn't just physically sensitive, it's emotionally forbidden. It's the space where pleasure meets surrender, and surrender is something his ego has been trained to fear. I could tell you exactly where it is right now, but that would miss the point. Because what truly matters is not the location, but the meaning behind it. Pleasure without trust is only a feeling that fades. Pleasure with trust becomes transformation. Think about that. How often does a man get to just receive, without having to lead, impress, or control? Hardly ever. In Jung's language, that's his masculine side stepping back so his hidden feminine energy can breathe. And when that happens, it changes everything. Now, let's go deeper into what really shifts when this part of him is awakened. You are not just stimulating his body, you are rewriting how he understands desire itself. Instead of an act he performs, it becomes an experience he allows. That small change makes a big difference, because when a man allows, he starts to feel. And when he feels, he bonds. Not in a forced or clingy way, but in a way his nervous system remembers long after the moment has passed. It becomes something beyond the physical. It turns into emotional memory. Picture this. You're with him, and you've already touched him in all the usual ways. His breath is uneven, his eyes are locked on you. But instead of rushing, you slow down. You let your hands pause just near the place he expects, but not on it. You breathe with him. You let your rhythm match his. You allow the space between you to grow heavy with anticipation. That quiet tension starts building inside him, his mind, his muscles, his breath. And then, right when his body wants more, you pull back. That's not rejection, it's rhythm. It's the dance between wanting and waiting. Jung would say you are playing with his shadow, the part of him afraid to lose control, and teaching it that surrender can be safe. That safety is the real pleasure. Yes, this place is rich with nerve endings, and yes, it connects directly to his prostate, the so-called male G-spot. But the nerves are only half of it. The deeper truth is that this place also represents something emotional, his secret wish to be seen, touched, and loved without having to be strong every second. When you reach it with true presence, the experience for him changes. His release doesn't feel like a peak, it feels like a collapse. His walls drop, his breath trembles, his hands reach for you as if you're the only thing keeping him grounded. And in that moment, he doesn't just feel pleasure, he feels seen, he feels home. That's what makes it unforgettable. He won't remember it as just a technique or a position. He'll remember it as a connection. He'll link that feeling of deep release to you, not to the touch itself. Because at that moment, You were not just his lover. You were the witness to a version of him no one else has ever met. But you must understand this. If you rush it, you'll ruin it. If you treat it like a trick or something to prove your skill, he'll sense it and pull away. And if you go there without emotional grounding, he'll resist, even if his body wants it. The secret isn't in your hands, it's in your energy. You have to understand what this touch means before you ever attempt it. So ask yourself, if you could give a man an orgasm that didn't feel like an ending, but like a revelation, would you dare to try? Because once you understand this place and learn how to awaken it, you might never look at intimacy the same way again. The spot is called the perineum, the small stretch of skin between the base of his testicles and his anus. On the surface, it's just anatomy. Beneath it, though, runs a web of nerve endings that connect directly to the prostate, a gland often described as the male G-spot. But what the anatomy books won't tell you is this. In Jungian terms, the perineum is like a symbolic doorway. It sits right at the base of the body, where the root chakra holds survival, and just above the sacral chakra, where pleasure and creativity flow. It literally rests between control and surrender. That's why it carries such power. Most men ignore it. Most women never explore it, and very few people ever use it to its full potential. But when you approach it with a mix of confidence and care, your touch sends a signal up his spine that overrides his usual control. His thinking mind can't stop it. His body begins to lead. His ego, what Jung called his persona, steps aside, and his raw, honest self rises to the surface. The point isn't to push or poke like you're hitting a button. The point is to treat it like learning a new language, one built on patience, curiosity, and attention. Start away from it. Explore his inner thighs, his hips, the sides of his lower back. Let your fingers trace his skin slowly, almost absent-mindedly, while you breathe with him. Let your touch tell him that you are there, that you're present, not rushing. Your goal is not to dive in, but to slowly wake up his awareness of that area. This creates what could be called psychological arousal, the kind that starts in the mind long before the body catches up. He begins to anticipate, not because you touched him there yet, but because his body senses what's coming. When you finally reach the perineum, do it gently. Use the flat of your fingers, your palm, or the soft pads of your thumbs. Apply steady pressure, not harsh, not too light. Just enough to say, "I'm here," and let him relax into it. The beauty of this kind of touch isn't in how bold it is, but in how intentional it feels. You're giving him permission to stop performing, to stop thinking, and to simply be. In that space, something quiet but powerful happens. His body trusts you. His breath deepens. His defenses soften. And that, right there, is where true intimacy begins. Not in excitement alone, but in surrender that feels safe. That's the moment he'll remember long after. Not because of where you touched him, but because of what he felt. That it was okay to let go. That he didn't need to be strong or lead or pretend. You reach the part of him that few ever get close to. The part that feels, not just reacts. And that's what changes everything. Match your movement with his breath. As he exhales, let your touch settle a little deeper. As he inhales, ease back slightly. This simple rhythm helps build trust because his body begins to understand your intention. It tells his nervous system that what's happening is safe, and that safety allows him to open up more. This is where things move from ordinary connection to something transformative. You can pair this rhythm with other forms of affection, his chest, his hands, his face, or even your voice guiding him gently. Jung spoke of the union of opposites, of bringing together strength and softness, reason and emotion, control and surrender. When you balance those energies, you help him experience both sides of himself at once. In that moment, he no longer feels like he has to lead or follow. He simply allows. That allowance is what creates surrender, the peaceful kind that feels freeing, not frightening. You may notice small changes, a slower breath, a stillness, or a deeper calm spreading through him. These are signs of trust. If his breath shakes or his body tightens for a moment, hold steady and stay calm. That's not a mistake. It's the mind learning that it's safe to release. Think of it like pulling a bowstring back. Tension builds before it finds release. The point isn't to rush it. It's to let the moment unfold until it naturally resolves. When that release happens, it's not just physical, it's emotional. His whole being relaxes, sometimes with a quiet sigh, sometimes in silence. Jung might call this a numinous experience, a moment when the ordinary self meets something deeper. You have guided him there not through control, but through understanding. And because of that, you become part of that moment in his memory, not as someone who gave him pleasure, but as someone who helped him reach a deeper truth about himself. The more safety and care you bring, the more unforgettable the experience becomes. No one can imitate the combination of trust, empathy, and presence that you give. That's the paradox. The gentler and more grounded you are, the stronger the memory becomes. Once a person feels this kind of depth, it changes them. They may crave the peace it brings, not just the pleasure. But remember, it's not about control or ownership. It's about presence. If you approach moments like this with curiosity, honesty, and warmth, they leave a mark that lasts far longer than any single touch. When he reaches that point of release, it isn't just tension leaving the body, it's years of emotional armor softening. In that instant, his mind and heart are more open than usual. That's when connection becomes imprint. That's when your tone, your words, your steady gaze become part of how he remembers feeling safe and accepted. It's not manipulation, it's awareness. The body may be the gateway, but the real change happens in the mind and spirit. After this, the most important thing is what happens next. Many people think the peak moment is the end, but in truth, it's just a doorway. Jung taught that after an encounter with the deeper self, integration matters most, the way we let that experience settle into our awareness. So don't rush to move away or break eye contact. Stay. Keep your touch steady, calm, and affirming. Let your hand rest gently, your breath stay close to his. Offer words that affirm not performance but presence. Something as simple as, "You're safe here," or "I love how real you are right now." These kinds of words ground the connection, helping it take root. In this quiet space, his body is relaxed and his mind unguarded. Hormones like oxytocin flood his system, linking calm and trust with your presence. This is where bonding happens naturally. Jung described this as the reconciliation of opposites, strength and softness, independence and unity, desire and peace. Your role in these moments is to hold space for both sides without rushing or judging. Let silence exist without feeling the need to fill it. Let calm be enough. Because in that stillness, he's not just resting, he's redefining what intimacy means to him. Once a person feels this level of acceptance, it often raises their standard for connection. It's not because you've done something extraordinary, but because you've reminded them what being seen feels like. That's what makes the experience linger. They don't only think of you, they think of who they became while with you. If you wish, you can reinforce this gently through simple affirmations, not rehearsed lines, but heartfelt truths. Phrases like, "I love how you trust me," or "You're amazing when you're just yourself," become emotional anchors. They link the feeling of safety to your presence in a way that words alone never could. But the most beautiful part of all this is that it's not about holding power over someone. It's about giving them freedom, freedom to feel, to be vulnerable, and to exist without masks. The person who offers both freedom and understanding becomes unforgettable. In Jungian terms, it's because you've touched both light and shadow. You've accepted both sides of someone and reflected them back whole. That's why this kind of connection feels sacred. It isn't about physicality, it's about wholeness. Very few people ever experience that kind of meeting in their lives. The point where trust, empathy, and awareness blend into something that feels larger than the two individuals themselves. And when it happens, it stays. Not because of what was done, but because of what was felt. That is the quiet power of true intimacy. The place where psychology, energy, and emotion come together to create something that heals instead of consumes. It's not about the act itself, but about awakening the part of the human spirit that longs to be understood. And when that happens, both people walk away changed, calmer, more aware, and far more whole than before. A moment like a quiet ritual, where a man steps out of his usual defenses and stands in his truth. If you can gently guide him there, and more importantly, hold him there with presence and understanding, you become more than unforgettable. You become part of how he understands connection itself. He'll remember you not only in moments of closeness, but when he's uncertain, when he's proud, when he's alone. You'll become a reminder of what it felt like to be completely alive in his body and calm in his spirit at the same time. But before you step into that kind of connection, ask yourself an honest question. Are you ready for what it means to be remembered not for performance, but for transformation? Because once you show someone that kind of depth, there's no returning to shallow. What's fascinating is that the perineum, as powerful as it is, isn't even the deepest layer of pleasure or connection a man can experience. Yes, it's the one most people overlook, the one that reshapes how he understands closeness, the one that makes him crave not just touch, but presence. Yet there's another place that lies even deeper, one that doesn't exist on the skin at all. It's something you reach without your hands, through energy, through awareness, through emotional intelligence. In Jungian language, it lives far within the unconscious, hidden beneath the outer masks and learned behaviors. It's where desire meets vulnerability, where affection and passion merge into something that feels almost spiritual. Many never find that place because they look in the wrong direction. They try to reach it through techniques or novelty, through effort or intensity. But the truth is, this inner space can't be unlocked by doing more, only by helping him feel more. When you learn to reach it, you don't just awaken pleasure that fades. You awaken emotion that lingers. It's the kind of feeling that stays in his chest long after the moment ends. That soft sense of warmth and aliveness that colors the way he moves through his day. At this level, intimacy stops being something that's done and becomes something that transforms him from the inside out. But before you can reach that space, you need to understand what keeps it closed, the habits, fears, and expectations that guard it. You need to know how to communicate in ways that bypass the surface and speak directly to his inner world. It's not about scripted words or rehearsed phrases. It's about timing, tone, and truth, the kind that reaches beyond logic and touches emotion. When you speak to that part of him, every moment becomes more meaningful. A glance holds more weight, a breath carries more depth, and silence becomes charged with unspoken understanding. This is where connection becomes art. When his mind and heart start responding together, every experience with you leaves an imprint. It's not something he can easily explain because it's not about what happened. It's about what he felt. And that feeling, once awakened, can't be undone. It stays in memory like a melody that plays quietly in the background of his life. In time, you'll see that true closeness is not just about stimulation, but transformation. It's about showing someone what it means to be fully seen, accepted, and safe to feel. That is what creates lasting change, the kind that shifts how he experiences every connection that comes after. So before you move further, pause and reflect. Do you simply want to create pleasure that fades, or do you want to awaken something that lasts? Because when you choose the second, you step into a higher level of awareness, where intimacy becomes a mirror of the soul, and both people walk away not just satisfied, but changed. What comes next isn't just another step, but a deeper invitation to learn how to connect not only through the body, but through presence, emotion, and meaning. When that happens, it's no longer just touch, it's transformation.